Hi, my independents. What a lovely Saturday afternoon. I want to sit and talk to you today, about financial independence. First off, please excuse my voice or if I cough. I'm a little under the weather, but doing better, so let's get this party started. So, I want to talk to you about joint versus separate accounts and how to be financially independent. There are some other topics that come along with that, so just follow with me. Joint versus separate accounts. So I really want you to think about that when you're making that kind of decision and to play it smart. Now, for myself, I have a joint account with my husband. In saying that, it benefits me because one, I can make sure all the bills are paid, I can control it, I don't have to be like, give me money, give me money, give me money. On the other hand, he makes more money than I do, so if I want to buy something pretty, I have a little bit more money accessible to me. And also, I have my own account. I also have my own separate savings account. So that's what I'm trying to get at, is if you're going to have a joint account with your other half, make sure that you have your own savings account. You never know. You got to play it smart. I would never ever bet that your spouse is never going to cheat or never going to pass away or never going to maybe just decide they don't want to be with you one day. And then what? You have nothing. Right? So it's always best to play it smart. I don't care how in love you are, how great it is. You just never, ever know. And you're better off to always be prepared for the worst and enjoy the best at that time. But with having a separate savings, it's not that they can't use it if they need something or you're allowing it, and that's fine. But just make sure you always have a getaway or a rescue fund. We'll just call it the emergency fund because it could be emergency for your house. If something will really go wrong and you need it, fine. But it's also the emergency for you so that you are never, ever, ever stuck. I have seen this many times in my life with a couple of friends and even a male that I know they were both so very unhappy in very toxic, volatile relationships, all of them. And none of them could leave because they had no way to go. They didn't have their car, so they lost their FU card. They didn't have their own money. They were not financially stable at all. So they felt stuck to stay in these horrible, toxic environment and relationships because they were never prepared for that. They took everything for granted. So when I say to you to always be prepared and play it safe, I'm serious. These things can happen, and it doesn't matter how happy you are and how long you've been together. Because that one relationship with the male, they were together for 26 years, or no, 28 years. And it didn't work out. And he was stuck until he found a way out. So really, it's just time to play it smart when it comes to being, financially independent. It's not rocket science. Get with it. Also, I know you stay-at-home moms are like, well, I don't work. I stay at home. Blah, 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 blah. That's fine. Okay, granted, you don't bring in any money, but your spouse does. And you need to be taking, whether it be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks, whatever you can, and putting it aside in a separate account that you always have accessibility to, so that in the event something does happen, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or not, you have this little bit of a cushion for yourself. Okay? Like, again, it's not rocket science here, and anybody should know that you are never safe. I don't care how in love you are. I've been with Justin for 17 years. I love him dearly. On the majority, we have a great, happy, healthy relationship. But could it come to an end? It could at any time for any stupid reason. So I'm always prepared for the worst and knowing that I've taken care of myself and my daughter before anything else. Part-time moms. Full-time moms, stay-at-home moms. Why can't you work part-time? You could probably even just a couple hours a week, twice a week, once a week, 3 times a week, whatever you can manage. Maybe bring in a couple extra bucks in your pocket if the other suggestion is not available to you. Also, there's working from home. There is a lot of amazing direct marketing companies out there and work from home companies that are completely legit, that you can bring in some extra money for yourself and you don't have to leave the comfort of your home. If that's something that interests you, I do that myself. I'll happily help you out. I'll set you up. I'll teach you. because you can work from home, you can make your own money, and you can be financially independent no matter what your situation or circumstances are. There's just, you have to look into it and research it for yourself. Another thing about being financially independent is, do you have life insurance? Do you have life insurance on your spouse? Do you have life insurance on your children? If you don't, you're risking the things that you love the most, and those are your children. If something happens to you or happens to your spouse, how are you going to take care of everything and everybody? Your house, your children, their extracurriculars, their college fund. You need to have life insurance. Like, it's so absurd not to have life insurance. I know people who just had a brand new baby and their spouse died. There's a guy I know, and he had to raise his little girl from, I think it was like 3 months old or something crazy, by himself. Now, luckily, they had life insurance. He was able to pay off the home. He was able to grieve. He was able to stay with her. And I believe he was even able to put some money aside for her, for his daughter, for later. So life insurance, it's a small fee, but you're guaranteeing a future for your most precious loved ones. And I hate to say it because it's going to sound horrible, but it's inevitable. We all are going to die one way or another, whether it's old age or by some fluke accident or some illness. We're all going to die, and you need to make sure that you've taken care of your loved ones. And that's part of being financially independent, because if you have life insurance on them and yourself, you know, you're also taking care of yourself. If your spouse dies, you're able to take care of everybody and everything. So it's just smart. Wills. This is something I'm not so great at having myself. I talk about it a lot. I just haven't gotten around to do it, and it's no excuse. So I take full responsibility. But especially when you have a lot of assets, you have a home, you have everything, again, you need to protect your loved ones, and you need to get a will. I heard from someone that it's simple as, like, there's somebody that works at Walmart or something that does wills. So I'm going to look into it. When I find out more about it, I will let you know about it. But even for myself, there's no excuse. You need to have a will. You need to protect yourself and those around you. You don't want the government or another family member coming in and being like, oh, well, you know, it was my so-and-so and I'm entitled to, you know, now you've just screwed yourself and you've screwed your family. So be smart. Get your wills done. Bad credit. Bad credit is like one of the worst things that I think you could ever have. You totally lose your FU card, period, with bad credit. Everybody needs to be able to have a credit card. You need to be able to make a purchase on the fly if you have to, for whatever the reason may be. You also need to be able to buy a house, get a car, you know, live a little bit. So no matter what you screw up, the one thing that you should never, ever, ever screw up is your credit. And if your credit is screwed up, it should be the first thing you work on fixing up. Because you're pretty much immobile and you're totally screwed with bad credit. You can't even rent an apartment with bad credit anymore. So, I mean, really, at the end of the day, what's more important, your Jordans or Nike shoes or your pumps or your Gucci whatever or whatnots, or making sure that you have a great credit so that you're not screwing yourself later? Absolutely, credit is like, it's so important. And if you have bad credit, I highly recommend you see a financial advisor, or you sit down and you really figure it out, because there's no excuse. Don't live beyond your means. Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. Just be happy. Be grateful for what you already have, okay? Because the only person that's keeping count and notches is you. So get over it, ladies. Time to be smart, not pretty, okay? Or smart and pretty. We can do both, right? I agree. Your car and your car insurance should be in your name. Remember how I talked about having a license and that's your FU card? Well, so is having a car. And by having it in your name. So it's never held against you. They can never take it away. They can never be like in court, well, it's in my name, so I own it, and ha 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 ha. Okay? Get the car and the insurance in your name. Again, that's your FU card. It goes along with the license without even saying. It's not rocket science. It doesn't have to be a fancy car. Any car, anything will do. You know? And I just feel like women are sometimes being so stupid and so naive. And I'm so sick and tired of seeing it. I said, I'm here. I will help any of you at any time with any of these topics that we talk about, and then some. I have helped quite a few friends and people make huge changes in their lives, but you have to be willing to make these changes in your life and stop being dependent on a man for everything that you need and want out of life. No man is going to give that to you, and you're just going to find one unhappy, failed relationship after another, after another, after another. Okay? Until you are happy with yourself and you're completely independent and confident, you're never going to be able to put into a relationship what a relationship requires for it to work. So, at the end of the day, stop being so stupid, ladies, and naive. If you need help, talk to me. If you want to learn ways to make extra money and work from home, talk to me. If you want to learn how to be financially independent, talk to me. If you want to learn how to be confident and whatever, talk to me. Message me. That's what I'm here for. I want to help you. I want to make things better for you. And all in all, so we could be a happier, healthier, more confident, independent bunch of women. Okay, so get it together, ladies. Ask me some questions. Come up with some topics. I'll happily help you out. I'll do whatever I can. And at the end of the day, I just want to make us a lot better. So be smart about it, man. Stop spending your money on stupid stuff. It's not about keeping up with the Joneses. It's about being financially independent and smart. Smart is beautiful.